Me, Miss Laura, and I am here with my daughter Caitlin, who is going to be assisting me with today's craft. Today we are actually going to be making little painted rock gnomes and accessories because, well, I love gnomes and I love rock, so this is perfect. Some of the things you'll need is we used on these some acrylic paint. These are some of the ones that I have. Any color will do, because if you want these to go outside and make them waterproof, you're going to want that clear coating to spray over it. Of course, paint brushes, I have a variety of sizes, styles, fine tip ones. This is just washed off with water. And a pencil is good to have because you can kind of pre-sketch. I'll show you here your little gnome design if you want to, or mushroom or house. Just kind of helps give you guidelines. It's not necessary, but it's helpful. And of course, the most important thing is you're going to need rocks. Any rock will do. You can get a piece of gravel from out in the driveway. You can, like this one, this was just gravel. You can use big rocks, little rocks, just, you know, if you see something you're like, that's a good shape, then there you go. So I kind of already started a couple. I've got a little house going on and a gnome that I started, so that's what I'm going to be working on. And as you see, these are just black rocks. These have like a waxy coat on them, so they're a little bit more difficult to paint on, but not impossible. This one I painted directly on. This one I did a base coat, so I painted the whole rock white, and then I started adding on the details. And I really liked how you get the texture in there, so depending on how you paint your brush strokes, you could get some really nice texturing going on. Caitlin, how about you show us what you've got going?
I currently am working on another gnome. Eventually I'm gonna paint in his beard and his little nose, and hopefully add some details on his little hat. And he's gonna have a nice little belt right through here on his blue shirt.
Yeah. And this was just I think it's called a river pebbles. It's what we used to decorate around my house with, because I have a rock garden and a gnome garden. So all right, let's get started. So like I said, any rock, I'm just going to add in some details on mine. I'm going to be painting his little nose here and some little extra tidbits. Which brush? So how come you decided to go with the gnome?
Because gnomes are cute.
Gnomes are cute. I love anything to do with gnomes, as my kids would tell you. One of my favorite movies is Gnomeo and Juliet. I thought it was really cute and creative. I have gnomes all over my house. These were a few of my actual yard decorations over there. Each year I end up getting a few extra new ones. And what I like about the acrylic paints is they do dry on these rocks so quickly. So the most important things, these are actually called Swedish gnomes. And Swedish gnomes are the ones that just have a nose and a hat. So kind of like this little guy here. He would be considered a Swedish gnome. Then you have what would be considered I call them German gnomes, because they were what we found all over Germany. But you can have the eyes and the noses and stuff. Pinterest was a wonderful place to get some ideas on these. That's where I found inspiration for it. I'm just going to add in a few little lines on his hat. And you don't have to be very artistic to pull this stuff off, because I am not artistic at all. I don't often paint. She paints quite a bit. I do not, but this was actually relatively simple to do. It helped when I looked at some pictures, and some of them, as you see, use the whole entire rock to get the gnome features on there. Mine is not on this one. Some of them even had a scene, like they painted a little tiny gnome on the rock with a bigger look to it. So just whatever your imagination wants to take you. I'm going to try to get him to hold a flower. One thing I don't like about the black rocks, unless you do the background, it is kind of hard to get things to show up. But hers was white. Show them how you've been doing that beard.
Been slowly working on filling in the beard with white paint, and then I'm going to go later on with black paint and trace out the mustache and the beard and add a little lines like how I did on this one, so you can get a little bit more details of the beard.
And it's really just wherever your imagination takes you. There is no wrong way to do it. Kids love painting them. I love painting them. Trying to find like a rounder brush to make a flower. And they another fun thing, if you don't want to like put them in your garden or a flower pot, you can hide them around town and make it a little treat for somebody. And I know we found a couple of rocks over at our at Concord University, and they had on the back like a hashtag, and they gave it a name, and you know, take a picture of it and share it on Facebook type thing. So that's just something fun to do. Or you can turn it into a little pet rock.
What would you name your gnome?
Kind of looks like a bob. Bob is, I like him. He looks like a bob. He reminds me of my dad's nose, to be honest. So I'm painting a little just flower, and all the more I'm doing is taking the flat of my brush and just dotting it around. And it kind of gives it a nice flower shape. And it doesn't have to be too exact. These are a lot of fun. What about you? What would you name yours?
Well, he's going to be a grumpy gnome.
A grumpy gnome?
A grumpy gnome. So he would, kind of reminds me of my line on Animal Crossing. So his name is going to be Elvis.
Elvis, I
Yes.
like that. So Elvis is grumpy?
Yes, he's a grumpy old man.
Alrighty. And when I did with his beard, she kind of filled in her beard with like even brush strokes. I took just a rounded brush and I dabbed it in and kind of did it like how my flower was, and I just kind of dotted it around, and it kind of gave it that bushiness to it. There we go. His little whiskers sticking up everywhere. And like I said, you don't have to make him perfect. So that's my little guy, I think. He's interesting.
You didn't give him a mouth.
It's underneath the beard.
Is it that bushy?
Yeah, he tied in. See, she gave hers a beard or a mouth right in there, and she defined his mustache and beard where I've just got him kind of untamed and wild. Again, reminds me of my dad.
Yes.
So now I'm going to work on my little house here. To get the little looks of the wood, I did little brush strokes that came across, and for the roof, I did brush strokes that came down. So I'm going to work on detailing him a little bit. Some of the things they have, like mushrooms. I even saw one where they painted a gnome on the mushroom. I thought that was really cute.
I'm not that talented.
Nor am I. I'm going to work on finding my little doorknob here. I thought doorknob should be in the middle. It just looked more whimsical. I don't know why. So how'd you come up with the colors for your gnome?
They just looked pretty. Since this one, most of the time, most gnomes are known for their red hats.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he should have a green hat instead. He's going to be the odd one.
The odd one.
Yes.
Oh, that.
He's going to be known as like the gnome's like elderly grumpy man. But he has like the best garden.
I like that. There we go. Kind of looks like a window. And I saw some that had like little window boxes and stuff. I think I would need a bigger rock for that. And these little dishes come in handy, and it doesn't really take a lot of paint at all. Try and make it look like little flowers in there.
And you can find paint anywhere, really.
You can.
You don't have to get expensive paint.
No. No. And this is very relaxing. I forgot how much I love painting rocks and doing things like this. One good thing about all these virtual programs, I'm getting to do a little bit more crafting. And it's just been a lot of fun. There we go. And these I am actually going to incorporate out in my gnome garden, I think, because I have little houses and villages out there. So these will be a perfect addition. You can give them as gifts even. What do you plan on doing with yours?
He's gonna hang out on my desk. He's gonna be my new study buddy during the school year.
Yeah, school's coming up quick.
It is.
There we go. Having a hard time with purple. There we go. Oh, it looks a little bit like flowers on there.
Now, what two colors make purple?
Oh, that's a trick one. Blue and red, right? Blue and red. She put me on the spot. She is now canceled from helping me with my artistic things. And I think I'm going to put a few little flowers, maybe blue flowers, up under the window, like a little flower box. No, if I use blue there. Maybe a little, I need a yellow. I don't have yellow handy with me.
I have some.
Blue.
And what shade of yellow?
A bright yellow. I'm going to add a little yellow, and I think I am about done with mine.
I think I am too.
If you do run into like some darker rocks like this, or you can do like an entire base coat on there. It looks like she did that on the gravel a little bit. Most of it's black. It's like a little starry night. So that's handy. And as I tell you guys every single week, share with us your pictures. I would love to see what you guys do with it. Mainly because I'm crazy about gnomes and I'm crazy about rocks. So let us see what you're doing there. Kind of a little bit of green, and post it in the comments, and be sure to share with your friends and stuff, and let's see what you guys come up with. You can have your own little gnome rock garden. How's yours coming along?
He's coming along good. He's gonna have some flowers on his hat.
Some flowers. Alrighty, I think I'm about done with mine. Add a little bit of yellow in there. Alrighty, and we'll show you if we keep adding on to it. We'll show you the finished product. You want to hold up yours? So there we go. There's some of our little rocks, and as you see, it doesn't take long at all. It dries really well. Just make sure you put that clear coating on there, and have fun with it. Alrighty, till next time. Bye-bye.